Hi Sandra, hi Cheryl, hi Amy. How is everyone doing today? Happy Thursday. Hi Judy, how are you? Look what I got in the mail today. Very excited about that. I'm doing well. I have coffee. I've been playing in my bedroom all day, and here we are. So let's see. We should tag there. There we go. So anyway, I'm doing well. There was a couple of things that I have. Awesome, Aaron, welcome. Van Ruth, welcome. There's a couple of things that I have been watching this week. We obviously did the Artisan Creative Train on Monday, and that was 22 handmade creatives. Hi, Wendy. How are you, love? And I know probably a month ago, I went through doing plain white envelope listings, what is acceptable, what is not, and I'm still watching people that have items that are completely acceptable to be shipped out in a plain white envelope, but they're still $4 plus shipping. So I guess looking at it, hi V, how are you, love? Hi Tina. It's meant to be. Hi. Hi Amber, how are you, love? I am doing okay. I've been playing in my bedroom, getting jewelry made for an in-person show that we are doing the first weekend in August. Hi, beautiful friend. So Wire Weaved Uniques Bailey and I are doing an in-person show. We do set up on July 31st, and the show is August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So it was kind of a last minute thing. We've had about 3 weeks warning, and everything has to be natural stone. So I have been frantically making jewelry because I thought that my first in-person show for the fall was going to be in September. So that's what I have been up to. Yeah, so it's been a thing. How is everyone today? How are you feeling? Are you feeling the summer crunch of sales slowing down? Are you doing well? As sellers, put hearts in the chat if you're a seller on here. Amber, Holly, Amy, yeah, Judy. I love the giggles. I love the giggles. I really do. Here's the thing, y'all. As a handmade community, we have our ups, we have our downs, but at the end of the day, we all love each other and we support each other and we do what we need to do. I saw you selling pins the other day. You're absolutely, it counts, because you know what? A lot of people struggle with that. I was actually doing listings earlier today of things that I have had sitting here to sell for 2 weeks, and they've just been sitting here. And the thing with it is, if you don't list it, it's not going to sell. Hi, Tamika. How are you, love? And I can sit here and tell you all day long what you should do, I'm going to move this camera down a little bit because I feel like it's kind of crazy. Yeah, Wendy's a seller, not doing shows. Judy's not doing shows. And I guess the question is what holds you back from doing shows? Beatable pins. I know pins. If you had any idea the level of, oh my God, pins. I like looking at my art desk. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 containers, 7 if I count that one, on my desk that are holding writing utensils. I have 1, 2 cubbies that are holding drawing and painting things. I get it. It's a whole thing. It is. So this is what I wanted to talk about today. And I don't know, it is so hot. Oh my Lord. I'm in Arizona, and hot flashes in Arizona are absolutely not cool. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is I've been observing people that, and I'm kind of taking this from my train. So, hi, Bae. How are you, love? I watched 22 people-ish do demos on Monday. And of those people doing demos, there was amazing demos. If you missed it, you missed. But they're doing all of these amazing demos, showing what it is that they can make. But when I tried to go back to get pictures of what they were making because I made a little book and I want to put pictures, over half the people did not have any of those items listed in their bin or in their shop. So are we making things for ourselves? I know. Are we making things to make money? Are we here for socializing and don't care about money? I mean, everybody is at a different state, I'm sure. But do you understand where I'm coming from? It really made me stop and think, and I'm guilty because the books I made are sitting behind me. They're not listed. Bailey, saving the project for the next show. Absolutely. But if you don't take a picture of it and list it, what if somebody that was in that show, let's say, because most of the day we had 30, 40 people on the train. Say 2 of those people are like, oh, I really love that, but I don't get paid till Thursday. And they went to go look for that item today and they didn't see it listed. They're not going to come back. A reworker's passion. Hello, Leslie. How are you, my friend? And I'm spewing my thoughts over the situation because it really struck me that I was like, I'm guilty. A lot of the people that were on my train are guilty. And we kind of have to look at, if we make an item, are we making it for a gift, for personal use, or to sell? And if we're making it to sell, finish the project, take a picture, and list it in your shop. And like Bailey said, sometimes you're saving it for the next show. But what happens in that interim to the next show, if somebody goes back to look for it after you've demoed it, they don't see it and they're like, oh, somebody already bought it because it was so awesome. Are they going to come back? Maybe. But in that moment, that person is in love with your item. They finally got paid. They're coming back to get it and they can't find it anywhere. I'm guilty. I'm spewing thoughts. I'm not judging. I'm spewing thoughts. And it really struck me this morning as I was going through, out of all the demos that were done, I think I have pictures of like 6 of them. Thoughts? Thoughts on this? Preaching. It's, I don't want to be preaching. I want to make you stop and think about your processes, because I'm having to stop and think about my own processes. I'm guilty. You got it, babe. I am so guilty. I have a bowl of jewelry sitting on my desk in there, and I keep rescheduling my jewelry show because I don't have it listed yet. And I don't have new things to put in, so I just keep rescheduling my show. So I guess as a group, as a whole, I'm asking, can we give each other the moral support, the kick in the butt, whatever it is we need? Make a goal to list X amount of items every week. I used to do that. Tamika, I know mine wouldn't be all ready, but did auction one as you pick in case you wanted one. You did, and that was amazing. And had I had money that day, I would have bought one. But I did not have money to spend. Am I going to come back and get one later if it's listed? Does that make sense? My problem is inventory rotation on the 4 different places. You have a hard time making a whatnot pile unless you try to rotate every 3 months. True. And that's where, because I mean, Bailey, I said this before you came in. Wire Weave Uniques. She and I are doing the in-person show the first week of August. So I'm starting to set stuff aside for the in-person show. However, my thought is this: you can list everything, and as you take inventory to go to the show on 2 weeks from now, you can just go in and you can deactivate for the weekend of the show. So when you get back from the show, you can do one of 2 things. You can deactivate it permanently because it's sold, or you can reactivate it. But in keeping stuff set aside, you're shorting yourself people seeing those items for 2 weeks and potentially buying them. Does that make sense? And that's where my brain was with it. I was really trying to think this through, and it's like, there's got to be a better way to do it. No. You've been rethinking what to demo strategically as well in the wake of Monday's train. Definitely areas for improvement. Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like, that's a good point, because are you demoing something that you just enjoy? Or are you demoing something that is potentially going to be a high sale item through the holidays? And I know I'm throwing this out here at you guys. We're getting ready to come up on August. And as handmade creatives, we need to have our inventory under control by the time August gets finished. So, very good point, Judy. For an in-person show or another show or whatever it is you're doing, you can just put your shop on vacation hold. Your other problem is listing everything you make after seeing 100+ items not sell in 2 years that it's been listed. Absolutely. I agree with that. It's daunting because we as Handmade have so many items. But I did something this morning and I played with it. And I don't know how well, it's probably not going to work well for what you do, Bailey, because everything you make is so different. However, I was going through. Why is my phone not shut off? Rude. Sorry, guys. I used the variations, and yes, it was with art supplies, but yeah, refresh it. Sometimes when you have so many things listed, it gets overwhelming. I know I get overwhelmed going through my own stuff. I wish there was a way that we could categorize it. I have started coding my things so I can just type in a few letters to pull up inventory and pop it into a show regardless of where it's going. But when I was using the variations of listing things, yes, they were art supplies, yes, they were different colors, but I did one picture of everything with the colors listed. And then I was able to go down into the variations and individually list each color so they get to choose a color. So can that be utilized? Say, Bailey, you have one big picture of pendants, and say you have 9 pendants, and you put a little number beside each one of them when you take one picture. Go into the variations and do 1 Tibetan agate, 2 tiger's eye, 3. So the number is beside it, and then people can go in and you have that base price. They can choose which one of those they want with one listing. Does that make sense?
Hi, gorgeous.
Hi.
Just listening.
Thanks.
You need coffee or are you good?
I mean, look at my cool coffee mug that Robin made me for my birthday. I don't know if this is microwave safe, so I don't know. I mean, hot coffee would be cool.
What's in the oven?
But don't put that in.
No.
Don't put that in the microwave,
Right.
please.
I got that.
Thanks, love.
You're welcome.
I know, right? Yeah, I got it in the mail today. I was very excited. She actually showed it to me on the train on Monday. So I don't know. I mean, it's something to play with for anybody in the Handmade. Go in and play with those variations with listing your items, especially if you're doing similar items that you have at a. Hi, Reggie. How are you, beautiful friend? Items that you have at the same price point that are similar, but yet you have the variations. Right. Because if they have this big picture of like 9 pendants, they're like, ooh, I want to see it closer. So they click on it and then they're going to be looking, they're going to be zooming, and they can go down and they can choose which one they want and purchase it. And when you have variations in there, they have to make a choice before they can purchase. So I guess take the tools that we're given by Whatnot and turn them into something that works for us as handmade creatives, especially coming up on the holidays when we're going to be slammed. And we all know, if you've been around a while, the end of August, sales start really picking up. September, October, November are going to be really, really busy. We're going to have trains going on, demos. We're going to have sales, Whatnot usually puts out incentives where they do different things. People are going to be doing holiday shopping. Exactly, Tina. If you have not been here through a holiday season, it gets crazy. You've started making 3 sizes of bracelets for variants as well if I have enough materials of the same. Absolutely. That use that, play with it, and for me personally, it made listing a lot easier because I get bored doing listings really quick. But I was able to go in and play with it and type in different things, and it made it a lot easier for me to get through it. Does that make sense? Greta, that's a great idea. Different sizes of the same design. I mean, if you're going to do a design and you have the materials, do different sizes and throw those sizes in the variants and utilize it. I know my brain is like, Well, because I generally just say most of my bracelets I will resize for people. But if I've got all the stuff out, I might as well make 2 or 3 of different sizes. And then I've got in one listing, I've got 3 bracelets listed, and that saves me a whole lot of time. So that was literally my main point today, is get your stuff listed. Leslie unlocked bronze. Congratulations. Get your stuff listed. It really blew my mind how many people did a demo on my train and I couldn't find their item to steal a picture of it. And then I thought about it and I'm like, mine's not listed. I can't come at anybody. I can't judge. I can't this. I can't that. So set yourself a listing goal. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you. I was squirreling, but I'm right back there. A year ago, I set up goals where Monday morning I would list 10 new items, or I would list, because I would usually make stuff over the week, make jewelry over the weekend. And I would have my little container of my jewelry that I made over the weekend, because I do the Create With Me on Thursday. I would do raid trains on Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday, and any spare time I would create if we were home. So I would just keep throwing it all in a bowl. And then Monday morning, I would list all of those. Well, what happened was I stopped listing because I got bored with it. And so now I have this overflowing bowl of stuff that's not listed. What I used to do, and I don't know if this will help somebody because I'm going to go back to it. You're the bestest.
You are.
Thank you, love. I appreciate you. You can give me a kiss. It's okay. Thank you. Everybody says hello, by the way.
Hello, everybody, by the way.
What I used to do is when I would finish a project, whatever it was, bracelet, earrings, a piece of jewelry, I would immediately take a picture of it so it was on my phone. Whether I would stop and list it right then or not is kind of besides the point. And instead of sitting and doom scrolling, I would go through my pictures and I would list those items because I already had pictures on my phone. Take my advice, I'm not using it. Finish almost, yeah. Yeah, I just, and it's like with me, it's like I make money making jewelry. but I love playing in my art room. And here's my thing. I'm gonna say it. I have gotten to the point where I'm doing more demos, more support shows than I am sales shows, and my finances are really screwed up. I did it to myself. Bailey says, I've been learning a lot revamping my website. Write down 5 things you find yourself wasting time on and put that energy into the things you can control. Good advice. Amy, you struggle with getting decent pictures. Um, Greta, I have a me problem too. Absolutely have a me problem. Amy, taking pictures. I'm going to say this. A bad picture is better than no picture. Um, Dawn, thank you very much. And thanks for being here. What I do when yes, I would love to take all my stuff outside and I have all the props and some of my older pictures. I would go back out on my deck. I would set up crystals and a stand and I would do the whole thing and I would take a whole afternoon and take pictures. And then I would go and I would list everything and they were pretty and I loved doing it. But now I don't do that anymore because I don't have the time to do all of that. Okay, Bay, I'll talk to you later. I'll call you later. I don't take the time to do that anymore. And so I stopped doing listings for a while and I had to tell myself it is better for me to take a picture of a piece of jewelry that I have created on my bead mat than not list it at all because I'm waiting for 2 weeks to have the time to go outside and take pictures. Or I don't want to go outside and take pictures because it's 114 degrees. It's hotter than hell out here. So I had to erase all of those excuses. I will make a piece, I will lay it on my bead mat, I'll shove all the stuff out of the way, and I'll do a close up picture of it. Is it a good picture? Probably not. But at least there's a picture and at least it's listed. When I go into my shows, I can show those things when I'm doing my show. And a lot of times, what people will do is they will mark it, like favorite it. So when you go to run it, they're notified. They can come into the show when they're notified and they can look at it up close and personal in the live and go, oh, yeah, I really like that. Yeah, that's a good thing. A bad picture is better than no listing in picture. Boss lady, absolutely. If people aren't going to buy your stuff because of a half-assed picture, then they weren't going to buy it anyway. If somebody wants to buy your things, they're going to look at it and they're going to be intrigued. And they're going to do one of two things. If they're really interested, they're going to send you a DM and say, hey, I really like this. Me too. I do kind of have a filter sometimes. I try. Not a lot. Anywho. They can message you and say, hey, I saw this item. I really like it. Can you send me better pictures? One of the things I have found with, and it really depends on what you're selling, it is very important for me in my listing to put the size. Because I find when I'm running items and I'm continually having to measure it, it slows the flow of my show down. And I think it allows people to have time to get bored and go someplace else. So if you're making items that have a specific size, put that size in the listing. Where when it's running, you try, but that's why your in-laws love you. They're scared to speak their minds. I say what everyone else is thinking. Yeah, that's been a thing for me for a long time. Yeah. I'd say it. Hot coffee in a cool mug. Can't go wrong. So I guess basically I'm talking through with all of you things that I need to work on myself. I'm not going to come at you with, I do this, 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 and this. Yeah, I got it in the mail today, Mary. It's amazing. I tagged Robin because I want her to come in and see it. I don't know if she's busy today, but I need to find out if I can put it in the microwave because cold coffee's gross. But I want to spitball. I want to throw ideas off of each other because, as you all know, it's very huge for me to build the community, to support each other, to do these things. And it kind of started because I was in somebody's show the other day and they had an item that I really liked. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's a plain white envelope thing. I can go in there. It's only a couple of dollars, 73-cent shipping. I can manage $3 to support this new seller. She literally had in her listing that it was plain white envelope, but the shipping was $4.73. Epic fail. Epic fail. When I go live and I do shows, except for right now because I have nothing in here, except for giveaways in case we get a raid, because I did do that this morning. As a handmade creative, try to have something that is $2 or $3 that is properly listed as a plain white envelope so your friends and colleagues can support you. Greatest says, I get rattled easy, so having all the info in your listing, it's right there. Off the cuff sometimes increases your show anxiety. Absolutely. Amy. Okay, we're going to do this. Go into your seller settings, click on shipping, and turn on plain white envelope. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get to mine. Minimize show. Seller hub. They moved everything. Okay, so you're going to go to your seller hub. You're going to click these 3 lines right here. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click on shipping, and this comes up. You want to click on domestic shipments and turn on plain white envelope. USPS first class mail letter. Turn that on. Do you got that? Once that is turned on, I'm going to get close so you can You're going to go and you're going to create a product. You're going to take a picture. Under categories, you're going to click sticker. This is where everybody messes up. If you do a listing that says ephemera, if you do a listing that says handmade, if you do a listing that says anything other than sticker, oh wait, hold the thought. There's 3 categories. I always use sticker. I printed this stuff. It is available for you at help.whatnot.com. So you have to, the item criteria, trading card games, sports cards, or stickers. If it is not in one of those 3 categories, it will not work. But wait, there's more. The shipment includes no more than 5 items. The total shipment weighs 3 ounces or less. The total shipment value is $20 or under, and the buyer is in the United States. Criteria. Now, there's more. There's so much more. And you can literally go to help.whatnot.com and type in Guide to USPS First Class Mail Letter Shipping, and you too can get all of this in black and white. I'm old. I printed it. So it was sitting beside me, and I went step by step the first few times I did it, so I didn't screw it up. What's our question? You're welcome. It is very easy to do. If you click on here, I'll throw something in inventory. Feature in a show. So basically, I just put in my show under buy now, jelly prints. Don't buy it. Click on it and see what the shipping looks like. It is under a sticker category. But the thing with it is it has to be flexible. It has to fit. Oh, Leslie's going to love this. It has to fit within the envelope, and it has to move. 78 cents. There you go. Has to move. If it is rigid, if it is a bubble envelope, if it is, it has to be in a show. It cannot be in the bin or in the marketplace. It is only in a show does this work. I kid you not, I won a giveaway. Somebody sent it to me under plain white envelope, sent it in a bubble mailer, and I had postage due for a giveaway because they didn't ship it in the correct envelope. Legal size envelope, movable. Don't mess that up. They gave us this really cool thing. You can do an affirmation card. I very frequently do artist trading cards. You can do, depending on what you make. If you make ephemera, it can be a bookmark. It can be a all the things. It could be some fabric scraps, as long as it's less than 1/4 inch thick. So start thinking about some of the things that we as handmade creatives make that you can sit down and do a mass make, whether it's tags, cards, snippets, whatever it is that you do. If you make jewelry, do polishing cloths for jewelry. Do a fabric bag with your logo on it to hold jewelry. I'm trying to run my brain through the bazillion things you can do. Use your imagination. We're all creatives. Use that imagination and figure out what you can put in that envelope that's less than 1/4 inch, that is less than 3 ounces. Thank you, Tamika. If it is a pair of earrings, it is rigid and it cannot be shipped in plain white envelope because it will get hung up in the machine. Going back up here. I can't even find it. Racket Up Auctions. Hello, I'm new. I've had 3 shows. First one was amazing, but the other 2 not so much. How do I get more people to join in the live? That is a very common question with new sellers. And let me explain what happens. As a new seller, when it is your first show, oftentimes Whatnot will put it up at the top to get people into your shows. Okay. After your first show, they don't do that any longer because there's thousands of new sellers every day. So how you get more people to be in your show is you come into shows like this. You go into shows like Custom Wood Burning, a reworker's passion, that have been around for 2-3 years. And we do community support. You meet people, you get to know people, and you just socialize. This is a very social app. Our handmade community is amazing. I guess I should probably ask, what are you selling? Racket Up Auctions. So are you doing like pallet pulls, auctions, reselling? I mean, it kind of really depends on what you're selling. I can speak for the handmade community. We do our best to support each other, and to the point, Bailey just popped back in. Wire Weaves Uniques. I'm going to use her as an excuse. On Wednesdays, I sell beads and findings. So I had somebody in my show last night. They were asking me for copper wire. I know my friend Bailey sells it. So I directed them to go to her show to buy what they were looking for. If somebody were to pop into my show and want to purchase a certain type of jewelry, I could go back and say, that type of jewelry is made by Mary's Casual Treasures, and I could send them to her. Do I sell jewelry? Absolutely. Do I want to make that kind of jewelry? No, my friends do it. I'm just going to send people to them. So it's a very tight-knit community where we all know what each other has to offer because we're in each other's shows. We're supporting each other. Um, it it's very much community based. It is a very social app. Foxden, absolutely. Um, I'm going to say this because I know there's a couple of people in here that are new. And it is a massive pet peeve of a lot of people. It can get you in trouble, and it is something that you're not told up front, but you are because you're given the terms of service when you sign up. And typically what happens, as we all do, we scroll through and we click accept and we go about our business. You need to be responsible as sellers, as new sellers. Read the terms of service so you know what is expected of you and you know what can get you banned from the app. If you are going into people's shows as a new seller and you are putting in chat, hey, I'm a new seller, can I promote my show? You just did. And that is against terms of service. That can get you reported and that can get you banned. That is the one mistake that I see so many new sellers make because they haven't read the rules. So I'm, as a responsible seller who is doing a chat, I don't know all the rules. I don't work for work. I do not work for Whatnot. Been around over 2 years, learned a lot of things the hard way. Do not, as a new seller, go into random people's shows and ask to promote yourself. If you are going into people's shows just to try to get followers and just to try to get people to bookmark your shows, it is going to be very apparent. It is going to be very offensive. And you're going to have to work your butt off to make it on this app. You don't never know who's listening. You never know who's in the chat. It could be a Whatnot employee in that chat. There are specific sellers that do share shows. They will promote it. Come into my show and promote yourself. Those are the people that you can go in and do that. But going into random shows and doing it is very it's just against terms and service. So keep that in mind. Coming into a show like this and chatting with people and getting to know people. And if you have a limited amount of time to be on the app, yeah, go in the room and hang out. Watch the chat. You can, if you're a new seller, you can literally scroll through my chat right now. And if you have half a brain, you can read the comments that are being made, who is making the comments, and you can pick out 6 people in here that I will call friend based on what they're saying, based on their interaction with the chat. You've bought from many when you go into their shows. You haven't sold or started. Foxton, I'm going to tell you something that everybody purchasing from a seller. Let me see, how do I word this nicely? I don't want to be offensive, but I want you to understand, if you're going into people's shows buying things with the expectations that they are going to reciprocate, it rarely happens. It's stuff that you want, and that's awesome. But please understand, you'll get further by being in a chat interacting with people than you will going into shows and spending money. I'm not saying that against you, I'm saying that in general, because you just triggered something that a lot of people get on here and go, well, I was in so and so show and I bought this and this, and they don't buy anything in my shows. Yeah, good. And that's the thing, you have to become interactive when you schedule shows. Here's another thing, schedule shows. As newer sellers, have a minimum of 5 shows scheduled. You can put right in the show notes TBD, to be determined. Start gaining bookmarks on those shows. If the show comes up and you're not able to do it, you're not ready, edit that show and move it out a week. Because when you move those shows, all of those bookmarks go with that show. If you cancel it, if they're gone. But by having shows scheduled, as you're interacting in chats, people can click on your name. Here, watch me. Good girl. So I'm going to use this. Amy, shows scheduled. I can look at her profile. Crafting is my happy place. I love creating things. I'm excited to learn and support this amazing community. Thank you for all the support in this new adventure. So I've clicked on this. She has shows scheduled. She's doing 3D printed earrings. I can bookmark those shows. These shows are at 8 a.m., y'all. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not going to be in the show at 8 a.m. Ain't happening. When I talked to her yesterday, she had no shows booked. And I told her, get some shows booked so my friends can bookmark them. She's a new seller. She makes gorgeous earrings. We all know I'm not going to be at the show at 8 a.m. However, I bookmarked all of her shows because as a new seller, the more bookmarks you have, the better it makes you feel about yourself, the more confidence it gives you. And somebody can look at that and go, oh, well, this person has X amount of bookmarks. Let's go. You did. Thank you. Let's go see what they're about. If you're looking at a show that only has 1 or 2 bookmarks, my brain says it's a last minute show. It's somebody that hasn't done their things, or they've canceled their shows and just keep redoing them. So I want you to understand with that, get shows booked. It does not cost anything to bookmark your friends' shows. It does not cost anything if you're sitting here creating to pop into another creator's show and comment every once in a while. These are ways that we can support each other without spending money. These are ways that we can support each other and boost each other up. Does that make sense? Hi, Vicky. Hello, the friends are chatting. Hi, everybody. Yes, Robin, I got my mug. I have a very important question. Can it go in the microwave? Hallelujah. Thank you. because Rob brought me 2 cups of coffee because this one gets cold fast. So he brought me 2 cups of coffee because we didn't know if we could put it in the microwave. Thank you, love. Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, when I have pop-ups come on, so and so just went live. If I'm involved in creating something, you're the best, Robin. Thank you. I love it. If I'm in the middle of creating something, I've got my phone sitting here, I'm doing my thing, and I get this pop-up, so and so's RW Designs Live. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna click on that. I'm probably not going to talk a lot. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm a warm body in her show. I'm another bookmark in her show. If I bookmarked 50 shows and I'm off doing something, Rob's driving me to town and I'll pop on a show. Do I remember everybody's schedule? There you go. Thank you. Leslie, a reworker's passion, is a warm body in my show. I have 26 people in here. She's listening to me because she likes listening to my voice, and she gives me crap when I go on rants. But she's creating. She's either painting. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. She's probably crocheting. In bed. You are painting. Ah, good job. Custom wood burnings at work. She's listening. Hi, Beehive. It's nice to meet you too. Mickey, Height Normal Designs, another good friend. She doesn't always say hi. You need to just say hi so I know you're here. You don't have to multitask. Spooky Monkey, another. I still need to get my butt to your show and get one of those skirts. Damn it. Great as eating a salad, Amber. I mean, it's got it. Karen's here, my friend Doodle-esque. Do you understand? Half the people in here have heard me on this rant for a year, but they're here supporting because we all have a relationship. We have built a relationship, whether it's personal, upfront and personal. There's a lot of people that live here in Arizona. Some of these people I talk to on the phone weekly. Some of these people I DM with constantly. A lot of them are in my my raid train. A lot of them are in my trading card swaps. We all have different relationships, but at the end of the day, they show up when I do things when they can, and I do my best to show up for them when I can. You're new to discovering the handmade category, looking to make connections. What do you make, and what is your name? So you work in polymer clay. Sorry, I'm looking at your stuffs. Oh, honey. Are you in Hawaii? Or are you one of these early morning peeps? You're in Minnesota. Good God, that's early. You're experimenting with clay earrings. So here's the thing, clay. Made in Texas Treasures. Can somebody pop her name in there for me? Your shows are way early for me. Not happening. Who does polymer clay earrings? Sarah. Made in Texas Treasures. Craftel. Thank you, Amber. I get in trouble because I know everybody's first names. Melinda. Melinda's Creations. That's fine. And that's the thing. Please understand, you go when you can. I'm just like 4 a.m.'s not happening for me. I'm in Arizona, so I'm on the other side of the world, and rarely will you see me on this app before 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So I spent too many years getting up at 4 a.m. to go to work. Not happening. So we have a community. There is a community that works in polymer clay. And here's the thing. Every person that I just mentioned here, you need to give them a follow and you need to go chat with them if you really want to get into polymer clay and doing that, because regardless of your skill level, each one of those ladies we just mentioned does demos, loves to share, and will give you advice and support. Forever Clay does amazing polymer clay pets. Dawn Mill. And this is what this handmade community is about. I can steer most people because I've been around for a couple of years. I can steer most people and to what category you want to go into. What is it that you're doing? What is it you're making? We were talking to a new seller that you just finished your show. Sarah Craftel, who we just tagged, we have B_high5 is dabbling in making polymer clay earrings. And I was explaining to her the different people in the handmade community that works in polymer clay that she needs to get to know. Okay, so what you need to do, go in, follow everybody in this chat, because I'm pretty sure 90% of them are handmade. I've only seen a couple that aren't in handmade. Follow everybody in my chat, bookmark their shows, and then when you go, what's going to happen is when you go to look for a show, go to follow hosts. So just scroll over and click on followed hosts. And the more people that you follow in the handmade community, the more of those shows that are going to pop up. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I mean, we're always willing to help people with questions, whatever. It's just a thing we do. All right, so I've soapboxed for an hour. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything that they would like to add? I know, I really wanted to go there because it's important to me. How do we get to be cool like you? Cool like me is debatable. I typically run on coffee, very little sleep, and life experiences that were not so pleasant and made me have a greater appreciation for life and helping other people. Beehive, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the tip. Um, Leslie, what's everyone's plan for the upcoming holiday season? More items, shows, demos, in person events, etc. I am going to answer that in a second. Still trying to figure out how to maneuver, how to categorize your shows. Just be yourself. Thank you, Mary. My plan is to, at the beginning of the show, we talked about making things and letting them set, and making a goal to make things, take pictures, and list. We have, Bailey and I have our regular in person show schedule that we do monthly. And I'm doing the Artisan Creative Train. That is a demo train. I'm talking about adding the Hot Mess Express back in, probably in September. We're going to do that through the holidays. Judy, that's exciting. Height Normal Designs. Mickey is starting my own site, more shows for availability and making inventory, also making more quality listings for my marketplace. That's where we started this day. 22 people on my train, and over half of them I could not find their items listed in their shop to get a picture for the journal that I made. And then I realized mine wasn't listed either, so we needed to talk about it. We needed to discuss it because I failed miserably, just like over 3/4 of the people on the train. So I'm going to do a little blurb here. Every month, I run the Artisan Creative Train. It is the second Monday of the month. If you are a handmade creative and if you are willing to do a 30-minute demo, please send me a direct message. I always try to rotate the people on my train. I always try to make sure that we have at least 2 or 3 newer sellers, and to get exposure, to meet new people, and to be able to share your creative process. I would be lying if I said this was easy or going to be easy, but it doesn't feel like work. We love it. And that's the truth. If you think coming on this app is going to be like throwing some pictures on eBay and kicking back and waiting for them to sell, you're in the wrong place. Dawn, thank you very much. Can I summarize my soapbox? Yes, I can. So my soapbox was this: as handmade creatives, the majority of the people that were on my raid train, I could not find pictures of what they, or could not find listings for what they made, which triggered in my brain, we as creatives, if we're going to demo something, we're going to make something, we need to take pictures and list it immediately, because so many of us are guilty of not listing our items. My second soapbox was, as a handmade creative, always have something in your buy it now when you're going live that is an inexpensive item that you make, that is just $2 or $3, under $5, that falls under the category of plain white envelope, So if you have people in your bin or in your show that want to show support, but maybe they can't afford that 20, 30, $40 item, there are some lower priced items that they can purchase and they're not paying the 4 or 5 or $10 shipping. Plain white envelope items in your buy it now at all times. And the third soapbox, you teach elementary art. Yeah. I'm like reading chat and losing my brain. ADHD killing me. Um, and the third thing we talked about was supporting each other, showing up, having shows scheduled. And we've got the holidays coming up, and we've got like a month to get our inventory under control. So make yourself a schedule. I'm going to do X number of listings every week. I'm going to go into 5 shows a week and chat with other handmade, support other handmade. Make a point, if your brain's like mine and you can't think, make a list. Who in our community sells XYZ? Because if you are doing a show and somebody comes in and says, hey, I want to buy this, know your friends, know your people, and say, I don't have that, but you can go see this person and get it. Supporting each other is extremely important. Somebody said something. I know my ADHD is like off the charts right now. So did I summarize that pretty well, y'all? An hour and 15 minutes, and that's where we're at. Somebody said something that I really, really wanted to say something about. It's gone. Amber. Yeah, handmade favorite. Oh, that's the weirdest thing in the world. Dawn. There we go. Did Dawn leave already? I think she said goodnight. Dawn Mills said, I'm still trying to figure out how to maneuver, how to categorize my shows. So here's what I have to say about that. Figure out what you're selling. She did leave. Figure out what you're selling and find a category that it fits well into. And here's the thing. If you are selling, I'm going to give an example. I make handmade jewelry. So I have a show that is all handmade jewelry. If somebody's going to want to buy a bracelet, are they going to go in and say, handmade bracelet? No. They're going to type in tiger's eye bracelet. If my listing doesn't reflect what I'm selling, they're never going to see me. So often what I will do is I will do my listing, and my listing says tiger's eye bracelet, whatever, in the handmade category when I do that listing. But when I list my show, I sometimes will list my show in contemporary costume, because most people would consider it costume jewelry. And that way I'm catching both groups of people with my show. My listings are all handmade, but my show itself is in another category for people to catch it. Does that make sense? Who is my ideal client? My ideal client, Greta, is somebody that appreciates a handmade item. They appreciate the skill level, the work that has put into whatever it is that is being made, and has unlimited money. That's like the dream client. Oh, it's a question to help you choose your category as well. Yes. Um, but as we all know, be the handmade category is growing. It is literally exploding in Whatnot space because we have made that happen. We have put ourselves out there. We have come together as a community and said, we're going to do this as a community. We are going to grow. We're going to support each other. And we are going to get the word out there that, do you want to go to Kohl's and buy your wife jewelry that's going to fall apart in a month? Or do you want to come to our handmade community and purchase your wife a gift that is well made, well thought out, and is a quality item? We as a community are getting that out there to the other categories and people that that's a thing. And you're going to be spending about the same amount of money. So why not support something that is quality? But that is a matter of continually educating people on what we do. Now, I know that Leslie, a Reworker's Passion, feels completely opposite. It, Amber, I know, right? Same thought. Her thought process is, I'm not going to explain myself to anybody. And that's a fine concept to take. But if all they know is cheap crap from China and you're not educating them, they're going to be like, I don't understand. So, me personally, my thought is, I'm going to explain it because I want them to understand that what you're used to getting is down here. What you're going to get from me is up here. You're going to get the customer service. You're going to get the things made with love, with good quality materials. I'm going to explain that because I want them to understand, if you've got 3 pieces sitting in front of you, you have no clue what you're looking at. And you're looking at the person behind the counter, which one do I get? And they say, I don't know, pick one. Well, they're going to go to the cheapest one because they're going to automatically assume that they're all the same. I feel that it is important to educate about handmade community. That's me personally. Beehive, do you use social media and other platforms too? I am on YouTube and I try to multicast most of my demos over there. I do have a Instagram, but I'm really, really horrible about posting on Instagram. So should I use it more? Absolutely. But I'm busy doing this stuff. Have you had luck selling your handmade pieces at a good price, or is the expectation that the items be affordable? Um, oh, honey, the gemstone nook. That's a whole nother topic, but I'm going to give you just a little. Lucky buys. I sell handmade jewelry. I sell art. I sell beads and findings, and I sell art supplies. I bounce between my art room and my bead room. So that answers that. Selling handmade pieces at a good price, or is the expectation that the items be affordable? The expectation is the items be affordable. However, you're going to get me on another soapbox, which when I first came on the app, and I'm saying this because I want you to understand, no judgment. I made all the mistakes, multiple of them, and lost a ton of money. I thought I had to sell things cheap to get customers. I learned that lesson the hard way. In my opinion, you need to price your items. I've done shows on pricing and how to cost it out. Price your items and stick to your prices. If you want to run a sale here and there, no problem. I do it. More soapbox. Set your price and know your worth. Because if you are trying to build a community by selling $5 bracelets, and you hit a certain point where you're like, I can't afford to do this anymore, I have to raise my prices to cover my cost and my time, all of those people that are buying those $5 bracelets are out. They are there for the deal. They are there for a cheap item. And if it is worth it, they're probably buying them to resell them and claim them as their own. So all of that being said, it is better to stick to your pricing. Do you want to sell 10 items for $1? Or do you want to sell one item for 10? And I'm just using a base price. Those 10 items for $1, you've lost money because of all of the fees and everything that's involved in it. And you have 9 less items than if you just sold one of them for 10. Because if you just sell one of them for 10, you're making actually more money, but you've got 9 more to sell. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, the gemstone nook. I have necklaces I typically sell for 60 plus. I'm nervous to try and sell them on here. I use quality gemstones and silver gold filled findings. So what you do is you list your items and you stick to your price. Are you going to sell one of those $60 items for $5 to get a sale? Hi, Becca. How are you, love? Are you still on vacation? I miss you. Oh, I wore my dress that I got from you for my train Monday. It was exquisite. Thank you. I love it. And these are the overall shorts I got from you, too. Guys, I never bought clothes on here. And I bought some clothes from Becca. And I'm so excited about them. It's ridiculous. On your way home for a stop of 3. Awesome. Yes. These are the overall shorts that I got from you. I love them so much. But yeah, I've been wearing Becca clothes. I'm all excited. Gemstone Nook. Okay. Would you be willing to sell that $60 necklace for $5? No. I can answer that for you. Take a picture of it and list it. Exactly. Take your pictures and list them. List it for the price that you want. The right buyer, there you go, Leslie said it. The right buyer is going to come along. If you don't list it, it's just money that's wasted. But if you list those items, whether you list them in your shop, in your bin, wherever you put them in here for people to see, if it's in your bin, people can see it. I had a necklace that I saw in somebody's bin that I had been eyeing, that I wanted so badly, but I knew I could never afford it. It was ridiculous. And I have it. It's in my bedroom because I gave myself a goal to do X amount of dollars for each show set aside for that necklace, and I bought it because I wanted it. It was made by Mary's Casual Treasures, and it is the most gorgeous labradorite necklace I've ever seen in my life. And I'm only worn it once because I'm scared, because it's just so anyway. So I mean, it happens. Greatest and amazing artist. She's bought jewelry over $90 and she sold a $300 plus painting. Buyers will come along. But if you don't list it, nobody's ever going to know. Yeah. We all have those items that they're going to sell eventually when the right buyer comes along. They're higher priced items. Have them in your bin. When you list those in your bin, people see them. And just like my labradorite necklace that I got from Mary, I eyed that damn necklace for 3 months. I didn't even know her at the time. But that was my reward for me. And I saved my money, and I told myself, if she still had it when I had the money to get it, then it was meant to be. You don't know what people are thinking when they're looking at your things. Never go to the negative. Always tell yourself, I made this gorgeous thing. The right person is going to come along. Eventually, the right person is going to come along. It doesn't mean that it's horrible, usually. It just means that the person that it was meant to be with hasn't come along yet or doesn't have the money to get it yet. Does that make sense? Had items in your store for over 6 months and they never sold. And you do. Me saying those being in your shop, you can't just put $50, $100 items in your shop and just hope somebody buys them. That's not going to happen. But when you interact with people on here, and I have done that. When did I do that? I have notes on that. I actually did a whole thing. I actually did that back in February. I could revisit that next show. Absolutely. Next support show, somebody remind me and I'll do that. Because I have it all broken down in different ways of pricing. Here's the thing with it. Sadie One Lady Maid, that's funny. I haven't seen you for months. I didn't even realize you were still on here. When you are going to be selling higher priced items, well, welcome back, my dear. Thanks for stopping in. glad you stopped here. It's good to have you back. V, you're going to have to message me and remind me, though. I can tell you that. Here's the thing with it. If you are not active and interacting with people, you don't have that level of trust where someone is going to come in and spend $100 on an item. And that's where it goes back to this app is so social. Would I have spent the amount of money that I spent on that necklace with somebody that I didn't know? Probably not. But I hung out in Mary's shows. I got to know her. I got to learn her story as a creator. And it made me more apt to trust the process and spend more money than I've ever spent on a piece of jewelry in my life. But that's a whole nother issue. It's a whole thing. It is, yeah. List your stuff. And that was my first thing on here. List your stuff. Yeah. You weren't going to ask what? Hi and not yet. Wear them, display them in your background at works in vintage display, and show people how fabulous your work is. Absolutely. And that's where I go straight back to my thing. People need to understand this is handmade. Like this bracelet, I sat and watched shows and meticulously knotted every one of those itty bitty knots. Itty bitty knots. I'm not going to sell this bracelet for $5. That's asinine. Wear your things, display them. This is a pendant that Wire Weave Uniques Bailey made for me as a gift. You have to what did Leslie say? I can't see. List higher items in the shop and marketplace. Yeah. I think my chat froze for a moment. I've been on 4 raid trains in 2 weeks and haven't sold one thing. My stuff isn't expensive. People compliment my stuff but don't buy. Okay, handmade holidays. Stop. Can I use you as an example? I'll use you. View in your profile. You're in a lot of raid trains. How long ago did you change your name? Hi, Lynn. I'm Tam. You're newer to the app. You changed your name. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to say a couple of things about raid trains. Raid trains are fabulous. Raid trains are a fabulous way to meet people. Raid trains are a fabulous way to network and to feel things out. A lot of times, especially in handmade, you are not going to have a ton of sales in a handmade raid train. And I will say this reason. They're shorter trains. You are showing your stuff, and it is generally handmade people that are following it and checking out what you do. They're going to love what you do. They're going to see. But raid trains are too fast paced to be able to kick back and just really shop. Did you have your bin full? of items that people could buy. Okay. So, did you go back and watch your show? Go back and watch your show. When you're doing shows and you have good items that people are complimenting, is your pricing good? And watch yourself. You love the upcycled creations. They explain how they combined items and what matters to me because I'm clueless but appreciate handmade. Um, you've organized several raid trains. Your past shows are no longer available. Did they take them away? Mary, as a seller, you should be able to see them, I believe, unless they took that away too. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Leslie. Um, go back and watch yourself. Hi, Mackenzie. How are you? Watch yourself. See, are you explaining your things? Are you fumbling around trying to find things and people are losing interest? Are you articulating what you are trying to say? Are you explaining things? Look at what you're doing as you're running items and see if possibly that is part of the problem. The other thing is how many people were riding the train? On the people on the trains, were they fellow sellers that are selling the same kinds of things that you're selling? Was it a cross category train? Was it a demo train? There's so many aspects to having no sales on a train. Um, was it a sales show? Was it a demo? There's so many aspects there. Um, I run a demo show every month, and I tell people, do not come into this expecting to have sales. Come into this expecting to get new followers, make new friends, learn new things, and network within the handmade community. I tell everybody that. Thank you, Leslie, a reworker's passion. Trains are for networking, bottom line. There you go. Yeah, they made a lot of changes in the last few weeks, Mary. It's crazy. Um, I have to look for stuff too. Yes, you have. And here's the thing. If I'm in somebody's show that's on a train and I give them a follow, it's because I want to go back and see what they're about when they're relaxed. Trains for a lot of people are very stressful. It's high pressure, you're rushed, you have to get done what you're doing and raid at the right time, make sure your raid function's working. And a lot of people are really just anxious during a train. But if I see something that I like, I want to see that person in a relaxed atmosphere where their show's not timed and they can come on and they can talk about their items, they can show it, they can be on for 3 hours if they want to. That is when a seller is most relaxed, and that is when I am more apt to buy from them. So keep that in mind. All right. Lilac is back. Mackenzie. Is everybody just filtering through? Yeah. it's, you meet people, you see what they make, you like what they make, but you want them in their normal environment. That is like the difference between meeting somebody at an office party and going out and having lunch with someone. It's going to be two totally different things. Does that make sense? A train is like that office party where everything is tense, social anxiety. These are all people that you work with. You're kind of like not comfortable, or you go out to lunch with someone to get to know them and you can calmly talk and relax. Total difference. I want to know who these people are. I don't spend a lot of money on this app any longer. There are specific people that I will buy from. And 99% of the time, and this is I have a gnat attacking me. Go away. I've been creating and doing and handmade and all the things. 95% of the things that are sold under the handmade category, I can make myself. 95%. So if I am going to spend money in the handmade category, there's a lot of dynamics that kind of have to come together to make that happen. It has to be something that I really like. It has to be someone that I like and respect. Or it has to be something that I refuse to make myself. Mary, good point. Tiny beads are not for me. And I will buy those kinds of jewelry from people because I don't want to make it. But I also know how to make it, so I have a total respect for quality made stuff. So anyway, I'm going to get off that soapbox. Any other questions, my friends? My eyes and my arthritis are not happy with seed beads anymore. You don't make soap. I can make my own soap. I just don't anymore. Because, lazy. And I have so much of Leslie's soap, I'm not gonna have to buy soap for 2 years at this point. Esty Lovely. So when we set up our show, should we not set up in handmade like clothing? Should it be women's contemporary? It depends on what you are making. Play with it. Set up a show in handmade and go for an hour and pay attention to how many people come into your show. Set up the same type of show in women's contemporary and run for an hour and see if you get new people coming into your show. There's no set formula. Yeah. Yeah, play with it. And this is what, with me, I struggled to have people in my shows. It was so stressful. And because, my ADHD brain took everything personally. I have 200 followers and nobody's coming into my show. They hate my stuff. What do I need to do? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with what you're making unless you're just an obnoxious person. It has to do with there's 1,000 shows going on, and what do you have? That struggle you get in your head. We have all been there. Hi, Casey, Wired Blessed Beauty. Mwah, my friend, how are you? We all get in our heads. Set yourself a goal. I'm going to start this show. I am going to go on for an hour. I'm going to go on for half an hour, whatever it is, whatever time you have. Run auctions. I have had some people tell me that they put a piece of tape over the number of people in their shows. Run your auctions. If nobody's chatting with you, if nobody's interacting, instead of sitting there and going to the negative that I'm a failure, go to the positive of I'm a rock star because I'm running auctions and I'm getting better at it. This is practice. I'm running these auctions and I'm talking about my item and I'm multitasking, and it is a practice session for me to get better at this. Do you think 2 years ago, if somebody walked in the door and told me they'd give me $100,000 to put my face on this screen, I would have told them to get the heck out of my house? Not lying. Now I go on and I don't even do my hair or makeup or nothing, and I've got my overalls and could give two shits. I'm here to try to help people understand that it does get better. Tamika laughing at me. No. Scared. I was scared to go live. I would have a freaking nervous breakdown before I hit the go live button every time. Yeah. It gets easier. Trust me, it gets easier. But if you keep showing up and you keep doing those shows, you're going to get more comfortable with what you're doing. Like Monday, my raid train, I had a couple of cancellations. Like one of them was like a few minutes warning. I was able to walk in here, flip my camera around, grab stuff, throw it down, and threw together a demo in 5 minutes flat. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Becca, you missed it. I did 5 shows on Monday. What? It was craziness. Anyway, it was a rough day. You give less crap the more you show. It does. And here's the thing. I'm comfortable where I am because I know half the people in this room. I show up for them. They show up for me. There are new people sprinkled in here that are at that overly anxious, what am I doing wrong? And those of us that have been around for a while are here to help those of you who are at that freak out stage every time you have to hit the go live button. Does that make sense? It was crazy. That's what we're here for. So, you are very welcome. It gets better. It really does. So make a buddy. Get a buddy system going. If you are a handmade person and you're in chat and you're chatting with people and y'all are in the same boat, okay? Nobody's coming in your shows. Nobody's this. Tenacity. You know what? You're not an imposter. What it is, creatives' egos get bruised so easily. Oh my gosh. I could tell you stories. Find a buddy. Someone that's selling similar than what you're selling. Someone that has a similar number of followers or even the similar schedule. Maybe it's maybe you see me on this app at 4 or 5 o'clock on my days, and I do shows Monday through Thursday, usually Monday through Wednesday pretty regularly, and say Lilac Bloom. I'm going to use Reggie as an example. Reggie can send me a direct message and say, hey, I see that you do shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. With my schedule, I would like to do shows on Thursdays and Fridays around the same time. Do you have time to come into my shows and hang out with me? And I will come into your shows and hang out with you so we're not by ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Find somebody that has similar interests or work. Communicate. Communication is so important, and why people as grown-ass adults do not communicate drive me nuts. Okay, that will send me off into a 30-minute tangent that none of us got time for because my coffee's cold. So what I am going to say is this: find your support system. Lilac Bloom, Reggie, Love. If you have a show scheduled and I'm not on, freaking message me and I will come hang out with you. I'm at an age that I'm not so concerned about people hanging out with me. But you know what I mean? Sometimes it sucks being by yourself. Sometimes it sucks talking to chat and nobody says anything. And you start getting in your head and you start thinking, ugh, why isn't anybody in here? Why isn't anybody talking to me? What am I doing wrong? And we go round and round and round. Creatives get in their heads. It's just a thing. Creatives get in their heads. Crap, I've been talking for 2 hours. What? Damn. Reggie, you need to. But here's the thing. 9 times out of 10, I'm either in here creating, I'm in my bead room creating, or I'm doing stupid stuff. Probably should be doing more important things. Thank you, Tamika. Screenshot this. These are people that do handmade community chats. And me. Screenshot it. Reach out to them. Is your name on there? Oh, Tamika does too. So custom wood burning, myself, and those people on that list do handmade chats. I'm the here, I know. Wire Bless Beauty. That is my friend Casey. She took a year off. She does shout out shows for new sellers. Give her a follow. She makes beautiful wire wrapped jewelry. She does shout out. Isn't it every Monday, Case? Are you going to do it every Monday? Monday night shout out shows. There you go. Go see Casey. Hi, Pamela. How are you, love? And anybody that has come in here that I missed you, please don't take it personally. Thank you for being here and supporting. I appreciate each and every one of you. Wendy, I've picked just a few people and I go to their shows happily. I've talked to a few. Tam is my favorite. Oh, thank you, babes. I appreciate you. I happen to be your current pain in the butt because USPS. Y'all, here's this. Can I just say this? USPS and me are about to box. Poor Wendy, bless her heart. And I say that with the utmost love. I have shipped her 2 orders, and the post office has lost both of them. It's driving me insane. One of her orders I shipped with like 40 orders, and she got 2 things shipped in that same day. She got her swaps, thank all that is holy, but her bead order is lost forever. Everybody else got their stuff but Wendy. It's driving me insane. There's like some jack up with USPS and Wendy and I. 2 years I've been on this app and I've only had one package get lost. And it was funny because it was made in Texas Treasures. It was cat class kits. And so she got the refund, the whole thing, and the package showed up at her house 5 months later. She texted me a picture of it. No, neither one of us are near it. Yeah, but how is it that 2 years on this app, other than Carrie's thing in the beginning that got lost, 2 packages within a month are lost, and it's to the same person. And she still loves me, and she's telling y'all that I'm her favorite. That says a lot. Love you, Wendy. What, bae? Yay! So Bailey, while we were here babbling, went and did her show that was scheduled. She made a ring and she listed it. You had a critter trapped at LA for 3 months, then randomly delivered. No, because what happened was I shipped everybody's June swaps out with my bead show orders. So I literally that day shipped out like 40 packages. I went to the counter. So Wendy had her swaps in one package and her bead order in another. She got her swaps, but still has not gotten her beads. Drives me nuts. I know. It's a whole thing. Bailey, I'm very proud of you. Into the whatnot inventory box. That's good. An order left me Northeast North Carolina, went to the other end of North Carolina, but went to Virginia, then Indiana, then back to Virginia, and then to its home in North Carolina. Yeah, they're crazy. I ordered something from a lady on here. This has been a year ago in Surprise, which is 45 minutes away from me to an hour. It went from me to like Florida, or from her, went to Florida, went to New York, hit Texas, and then came to me like 2 weeks later. And she lives like an hour away from me. All right, y'all. I can't wait to see it. See, here's the cool part. I get to see it in person. Thank you all for the advice. I followed and bookmarked as many as I could. I have to go, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Most definitely bookmark shows, get shows scheduled so people can come in and get stuff listed in your bin. Yeah, it's craziness. All right, y'all, we need to find somebody to bless with our presence, and I need to go find some dinner because we have been here Casey, text me, love. Forever Clay. Yeah, just send me a text, babe. I'm down. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Does anybody have any last minute questions? Oh, crap. Sorry. Can you just write the info on the back of the ATC? Yes, darling, you can. Thank you all for hanging out. If you have more questions, send me a DM. I will do my best to get back to you. And I'm trying to see who Melinda said to raid because I can't find them. Thanks for hanging out with me. Leslie, we need to talk soon. I'm going to minimize the show because I can't see who to raid. My show's being crazy. Hey, do we want to raid into Debbie's raid train? Forever Clay. Do we want to go? Do we want to raid into a handmade demo train, or do we want to go? Somebody tell me because I need to figure it out. Yes, next week, Leslie. Q is, oh. Okay, Forever Clay, she says, because I can't. FUR. Raid. I don't know why it won't go. And it's telling me there's no results. All right, you guys, we're going to go to the Atelier raid train. I think this is the right one. Yes. This is another handmade train that is hosted by my friend Debbie. And we are going to go bless the raid train. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you for hanging out. That's why we couldn't find her. We were trying to raid you and you were gone. That's why I couldn't find her. We're going to go into Debbie's train. It is the Atelier demo train. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support. If you have questions, message me, and I will see you all soon. Have a blessed rest of your day.